I knew they could see what was going on. Eric and Steed, all the guys, you know, they make the smartest decisions they can. But when we pulled out and went to the cafe, it started to become more real, what was going on. So I could actually take a step back and look at the fire and kind of see where they were at. But looking back, yeah, it escalated quickly into a horrible situation. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I was like, no, they'll be fine. They're tough. But then it just comes to a point where you have to be real with yourself of what options there are. You know, either they're gonna live or they're gonna die. That's just something you have to think about. All this is going on, and I'm sitting in the buggy, our buggies, and you know, there's phones going off. Family members trying to get a hold of them. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to answer them. I wish I could. I wish they could have answered them, but it wasn't going to happen.
I think I was laying in the hammock reading a book, and my phone just started exploding with text message after text message of people just saying, "I'm so sorry, I heard what happened, we're praying for you." And I didn't know what that meant.
I mean, yeah, it made sense that they had to deploy and that it was a dangerous situation. Whenever you have to deploy your shelter, it's not a good position to be in. You don't look to that. That's not what you want to do. You want to come home.
But he said, you know, the Granite Mountain guys deployed today. And I was like, what? I know what that means. But I was thinking that it was okay still. So I was like, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to do?
We're already working on the fire with a Yarnell Hill IC. So he's the guy who's in charge of the fire. So we're on this incident now. We hear a Granite Mountain IC, a Granite Mountain Incident Commander. That means there's somebody now that's taken charge of an event, and that event probably has something to do with Granite Mountain. I just got a phone call saying there's been a deployment. So now you're listening for all those little telltale signs that is this a deployment? Is this not a deployment? Because I've been on enough fires over the years that sometimes guys deploy in anticipation that things are going to go bad.
A friend of mine who's a police officer for Prescott, he was standing there, and his dad was Clayton's chief, and he said, "Christy, I just got off the phone with my dad, and it's been confirmed." And I just collapsed in the middle of the street.
And then somebody walked past me and told me all 19, and I'm like, what? And finally I grabbed somebody. I now know it was Dan Bates. And I just said, "Is my husband okay?" And he said, "What's your name?" And I told him my name, and he said no.
And so I started talking to anybody who I thought had the authority to make that decision, that Mark and I, whenever they decided, if it was that night, if it was the next day, if it was 2 days from now, that Mark and I would be a part of that team that would go and get our boys. And so there were 12 of us. 11 us were from Prescott Fire, and we had one Chino firefighter whose son had been on the crew. He was with us as well. And so we made the decision that we'd have 3 teams of 4, that we would work such that 4 individuals would pick up a body, and then the 2 other groups of 4 would line the sides of the rear of each truck and salute them as the bodies were loaded.
You could tell that the guys were all very tight together. Like they probably were touching each other on all around each other. I just took some rocks and I took some of the foil that was from their shelter blankets and some of the dirt. But at the time I wasn't upset when I was doing it because I felt like I was so connected to them that they were actually there while I was there around me. So I can't really explain it 100%, but it was really actually comforting.
Those guys were our family. It was important to us. It was important to them that we be the ones to go in and get them. So I wouldn't hesitate. I wouldn't go back and change it, even though it was the most tragic, painful thing I've ever done in my life. I never wouldn't change it ever. No, I'm sorry it ever happened. I'm sorry I had to endure it. I'm sorry that all these families have to endure it. But as sad as it is, I'm glad in its own way that I was able to do that for them.